The revelation that individuals within the police force have been involved in pedophilic activities is a grave betrayal of public trust. In the following instances, we'll examine the cases where law enforcement officers were discovered to be engaged in criminal acts against minors, shedding light on the serious consequences that these cases carry. Let's have a look at our first case of Ralph Shorty. On March 9, 2019, the Oklahoma community was shaken to its core when police officers received a disturbing report. A man, who was none other than Oklahoma Senator Ralph Shorty at that time, had allegedly taken a juvenile with him into a motel room. As law enforcement officers approached the scene that day, their steps were weighed down by the gravity of the situation, silently hoping that the report would prove to be false. The events that followed would reveal a deeply troubling truth about a man in a position of trust and power.
Hey, it's more police department, man. We just need to check on your welfare and make sure you're okay.
After several persistent knocks, the door to that motel room finally swung open, revealing a scene that would leave the officers laser-focused on the man inside. The juvenile emerged from the room, and the truth they had been seeking was about to come to light.
Come out before you get me worried. Show me your hands.
Okay.
Take a seat on the...
What's going on?
What's going on with you, man?
Just trying to have
A good time? Yeah. What's your name?
Ralph.
Ralph what?
Shorty.
Ralph was ushered back into the room, and as the officers began to investigate, one of them couldn't help but wonder if Ralph truly comprehended the gravity of the situation he was in.
Sorry guys, you kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we do. He's 17. What do you mean, okay? But you got a 17-year-old hanging out with you.
In the silent darkness of the early morning, Ralph had ushered the 17-year-old into his hotel room. At the unforgiving hour of 3:00 a.m., his head hung low, a heavy and remorseful burden, as the police officers persisted in explaining the profound and consequential nature of his actions. The weight of the situation bore down on him with each passing moment.
I'm telling you, he's 17. Like, I wouldn't lie to you. Like, what sense does it make me lie to you? But listen, whatever you're doing, it's a bad idea.
The officers, at that moment, weren't interested in hearing an explanation from Ralph. They believed they had gathered enough information. Little did they know, their assumptions were far from accurate, especially considering their lack of knowledge about the true identity of the man they were reprimanding. A few days later, Ralph was summoned for questioning, and this unexpected turn of events would lead to the discovery of multiple hidden facets in this case.
How did y'all meet?
At the coffee shop. I'm pretty sure of that.
What coffee shop are you talking about?
That's my guy on the coffee shop. The night that he called me, he said you just need to get out of his house. I'm assuming I thought he had told me that he lived with some friends, and he had told me in the past that it was hard for him to get clean because he was always with his friends that living with him.
Ralph recounted meeting a teenager at his coffee shop a year ago, leading to a friendship. He mentioned that on a particular night, he offered the teenager a place to stay at a motel. This decision was made after learning that the teenager's roommates were involved with drugs, and the teenager was trying to avoid substance abuse. Ralph also noted that their usual mode of communication was phone calls. However, he became aware that the police had a different version of the events.
Now, you said he's come to your house several times to play video games?
I think just once.
Come to your house once to play video games, and then you guys met at the coffee shop a couple of times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if I said that he told you guys met through a Craigslist ad the very first time, when he posted in Casual Encounters?
No.
How old is your youngest child?
5 months.
Okay. So he's telling me that when he first met you through Craigslist, that he had posted an ad in Casual Encounters, and that he had a lot of responses for it, but that you said that you wanted him to mess around with your wife while you watched. He said that he showed up to do that, or you guys got together and started talking about that. He found out your wife was pregnant, and then said that it never happened because she was pregnant. So here's the deal, Ralph.
When the teenager was 16, he posted a Craigslist ad for a casual encounter. Ralph replied, saying he wanted the teen to play with his wife while he watched, but that never happened because Ralph's wife became pregnant soon after. This story seemed to fit together because the teenager was now 17 and Ralph had a child who was 5 months old. Ralph denied this as expected, but the detectives were just getting started.
He has a conversation that he says he had with you Using an app called Kick. You know what that is?
Detectives uncovered a conversation between Ralph and JB Tilley. They discussed money for spring break, and Ralph agreed to meet. A witness followed them to a motel, where the teenager was confronted by a friend. The friend called the police, providing crucial evidence. The detectives were now poised to extract a confession from Ralph, inching closer to solving the case. Ralph staunchly refused to admit guilt, even when faced with the mounting evidence against him. Prosecutors, however, uncovered a troubling history of prior encounters between Ralph and the teenager, further undermining his defense. Blaming the teenager for the entire situation proved futile, as the young individual had been completely unaware of Ralph's status as a senator. Ralph's political career came to an abrupt end as he resigned from his seat just 13 days after the incident sent shockwaves through the community. On September 18, 2017, the gavel fell, pronouncing a 15-year prison sentence for Ralph, to be followed by 10 years of supervised release. The Ralph case was disappointing, but here is another that is even more disgusting. On August 15, 2020, two men had arranged to meet at a store after connecting on a dating platform. However, when they finally met in person, it quickly became apparent that they were not as excited about the encounter as they had been online.
Hey, what you here for?
How you doing?
What's your name?
Paul.
Paul?
Yeah.
What you right here for?
What's that?
What you right here for, Paul?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm here to meet some of my friends. Get
You here to
together.
meet? Here to meet your friends?
The man in the car introduced himself as Paul, but his behavior was notably peculiar when approached by the person he had intended to meet. This strange reaction stemmed from the fact that the person with the camera was not the individual he had expected to encounter, and he was about to be involved in something significant.
I'm here to get some I'm here to get turkey hill iced tea. Some cash. Why?
Oh, don't. Keep your hands where I can see them.
Who are you?
Just 20 seconds into this peculiar encounter, Paul's story underwent a rapid transformation. He went from claiming he was meeting friends to simply wanting some iced tea. Even though the man with the camera wasn't dressed in a police uniform, Paul instinctively raised his hands, displaying clear signs of nervousness and the realization that he had been caught doing something he shouldn't have.
Listen, I'm out here. I know what you're right here to do.
I'm not here to do nothing.
Listen.
I'm here to get a turkey hill iced tea.
You hit up one of my decoys already.
No.
The guy with the camera, Paul, messaged Musa Harris that night to meet up at the store for some sort of sexual pleasure after Musa Harris had logged into an online dating platform and appeared as a 15-year-old boy. Paul went to the store expecting to find a teenage boy, but instead, he was stared in the face by a predator catcher, the wrong guy buddy Paul.
Paul?
No. My name's not Paul.
You just said Paul.
No.
You just said your name Paul.
My name's not Paul. You got the wrong guy, buddy.
The man had become so skilled at pretending to be his online persona that it was the first thing his brain could come up with in this hostile situation. However, when he realized how serious things were, he tried so hard to break away from the persona that his brain went into flight mode.
Yeah, what's good, man? What's up? What's up? There's another one right here.
You're not playing no homie game with me. You're not playing no game.
Got one again right here.
You're not playing no game with me.
The predator catcher had struck once more, but he was unsure of exactly what he had captured. The man he had captured was Leonard G., an ex-police officer who had been terminated 3 years prior to this incident for violating office protocol. G received a sentence of 5 years of probation and 1 to 2 years in prison. He is currently listed as a Tier 3 sexual offender after being mandated to receive sex therapy. We have explored the shocking revelations that unfolded when law enforcement found themselves investigating one of their own. It's a reminder that justice knows no boundaries, and even those sworn to uphold the law can face the consequences of their actions. To watch the reality of this world more in similar videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.